Hi, welcome to ACCQ Continuing Professional Education. We're going to talk about employee benefits for this session right after this break. We said in Rule 1 that pag-usapan natin yung employee benefits. Ano ba ito? Well, alam naman natin na ang employee benefits, unang rinig pa lang natin is benefits, no, para sa mga empleyado. Pero doon sa sa formal definition, no, sa accounting, no, what employment benefits are, ito yung mga yung mga consideration, no. These are considerations, all forms of considerations given by the employer to the employee. Siyempre in return dun sa service na yon, sa services rendered. Alam niyo naman sa business, no, sa accounting, no, value given and value received, no. So, meron silang na-receive na value, meron rin dapat silang ibigay na value. Now, for the purpose of our discussion dito sa employee benefits, no, isasama natin dito yung mga nasa top management like directors, ito yung mga top management personnels, even the COO or Chief Operating Officer, no, sabi nung isa kong kakilala, chief ano raw yung bang yung child of the owner raw, COO. So ito kasali rin to yung mga nasa top management. And itong ano pa yung mga salient features dito? Meron tayong apat, no. Number 1 dito sa mga employee benefits, yung matatanggap ng mga empleyado. Number 1 is yung short-term employee benefits. And number 2, yung pangalawa is yung of course yung post-employment benefits, so pagkatapos ng kanilang empleyo dun sa kumpanya. And yung pangatlo is yung other long-term benefits, and the last one is termination benefits. Now, itong short-term benefits, ito yung kino-contribute ng owner doon sa pondo kada taon, doon sa pondo ng mga mga empleyado for their benefits. So, kaya tinawag na short term, no, because every year kung meron silang pondo, like for example a defined contribution plan, so every year naglalagay dito yung employer, no, at a certain percentage dun sa total salary or dun sa highest salary. And then ito namang of course post-employment, this is after yung employment nila, no. So like yung sa SSS, so these are also yung mga pension, no. So these are part of yung post-employment. And then yung other long-term benefits, no, as well as yung termination, of course pagka tanggalan sa trabaho, especially in this time of pandemic, no. So merong mga nare-retrench, no, for some reasons na it's beyond their control, no. So yun, merong mga termination fee yun, mga ganong klase. So pag-usapan natin una yung about yung defined contribution plan. So bago tayo tumuloy dun sa pag-uusap natin about defined contribution plan, ano muna itong yung mga elements ng or components dito sa short-term benefits. So, para madaling tandaan, isipin mo lang yung the word na SAP or SAP, no? So, hindi siya Special Amelioration Program. So, it's different, no? Although that is also a short-term benefit, no? So, S stands for salaries, yung mga salaries, wages, of course, yung SSS na contribution, and yung A stands for absences or paid absences. Ito yung mga vacation leave, yan yung mga sick leave, kung ano pa mga leave, no. Maternal, paternal, yan. So kasama yan dyan. And yung P stands for yung profit sharing, yung mga bonuses, no, especially if it's paid within 12 months, no. Ito. And meron pang isa, of course, no, hindi ko na sinama doon, pero ito yung tinatawag na other benefits, no. So kung meron pa mga iba pang benefits aside from like yung dun sa nasabi, no? Like yung mga fringe benefits, no? Yung like yung may pabahay, hindi friends with benefits, no? Fringe benefits. So ito yung may mga pabahay, yung ano pa ba? Mga pakotse, yan. So kasama yan dun sa mga other benefits. Yan. So yung accounting procedures dito sa short-term benefits is ano lang to, nahati lang ito sa dalawa. As you know, every taon-taon naglalagay ng contribution yung employer dun sa pondo, no? It's known as yung defined contribution plan. So pagka let's say kulang yung contribution nila doon, so mag-a-accrue sila. So merong payable. And then pagka over naman yung yung contribution nila, no? Over means ibig sabihin in advance nila yung services na gagawin pa lang ng empleyado for next year, for example. So ito i-recognize naman nila as prepayment. Pumunta naman tayo dun sa mga paid absences, no? Or sa absences, no? Whether it's a vacation leave or yung sick leave, no? So meron lang dalawang categories yon, whether it is accumulating or hindi nag-accumulate. So pagka-accumulating, ibig sabihin pagka hindi na nagamit yung paid leave, whether it's vacation or sick leave, no, pwedeng so mag-accumulate yon in the following period or the following accounting period, no? So pwede nilang gamitin yon. Now under accumulating also, there are two subcategories. Ito yung tinatawag na vesting and non-vesting. Now under the vesting, so meaning the employees are entitled to a cash payment for unused entitlement on leaving the company. So vested benefits are employee benefits that are not conditional on future employment. So meantime, para naman dun sa non-vesting, this means that employees are not entitled to a cash payment for unused entitlement on leaving the entity. So yung next naman is about yung sa post-employment benefits. Ito yung pagka tapos na yung working life niya dun sa company. So this is depicted by the acronym RPP. So R stands for retirement benefits. Yung mga pension, no? Yung mga pensionados, no? Or pwedeng yung binibigyan siya ng pension taon-taon, no? Up to the estimated na nila, yung kumbaga yung bang estimated life expectancy nila. So doon gumagawa ng para mga annuity. Ito yung mga ginagawa para sa life insurance, no? And also yung meron rin yung lump sum, no, after his or her retirement. And then the next one, ito yung the first P there dun sa RPP is yung post-employment na life insurance. So ibinibigay rin ito dun sa employee na nag-retire. And then yung the last P is post-employment healthcare or medical care. So dito naman sa defined contribution plan, no, so which is one of the plans na pwedeng piliin ng employer para maglagay ng doon ng kanilang post-employment benefits para doon sa kanilang mga empleyado, no. So under the definition, a defined contribution plan is a post-employment fund or employment plan which the entity pays a fixed amount to an entity known as the fund. So naghuhulog sila doon para doon sa mga employees nila, no, upon retirement. Now, the entity will have no legal or constructive obligation to pay further contributions if the fund does not hold sufficient assets to pay all employee benefits relating to employee service in the current and prior period. So, simply stated, the entity makes a specific or definite amount of contribution to a separate fund without specifying the retirement benefits to be received by the employee. So, the contribution is definite, but the benefit is indefinite. So, in other words, dito sa dun sa contribution na to, no? Parang meron silang fund manager na ini-invest nila doon sa pondo na yon, doon sa defined contribution plan, and ano yon, na nagbibigay sila ng fix doon, no? And then yung fund manager nila, no, parang parang sa mga investment, no, ini-invest naman ito doon sa, no, let's say sa money market, no. So ang ang risk dito, pagka let's say of course pagka kumita, then mabebenepisyohan mga empleyado, yung mga retirees. However, pagka hindi pagka let's say, well, alam niyo naman sa investment, no, pagka hindi siya kumita, well, the employer will bear the consequence. In other words, yung entity, nag-appoint sila ng trustee para i-manage yung fund, no? So of course ini-invest ng trustee to, no? That's why para silang fund manager, no? So sila yung nag-invest doon. Of course, if the investment does well, so it will benefit the employees, but if it does poorly, of course the employee will suffer. Now, for the accounting for this one, dito sa defined contribution plan is straightforward. So wala na yung mga undiscounted na yung sa table, yung mga present value na yan, no? So once the expense is incurred, so yung contribution, no, so it is already treated as an expense on the period it is payable. So pagka let's say sumobra yung contribution nila versus yung or let's say kulang yung contribution nila, halimbawa, no, dun sa contribution that they're supposed to make, no. So meron silang payable, no. So they will accrue yung kulang na contribution, no. Of course, yung binayad dun sa taon na yon, that would be ibabawas yon dun sa utang. Now, kung sobra naman yung yung contribution nila against dun sa payable, then that would be treated as prepayment, up to the extent na it will be a reduction dun sa future cash payment or contributions or a cash refund, no. So gawin natin yung accounting procedures dito sa defined. Okay, so let's take up this the number one example here. No, so ABC company has defined has a defined contribution plan that covers the existing employees. The terms of the plan require ABC to contribute 5% of the annual employee's salary. So kukuha tayo ng percentage dun sa annual employee salary to the retirement plan each year. So ito yung binabayaran ng employer kada taon. Depende dun sa salary, dun sa total salary na yon. The payroll records show the following annual salaries. So for 2020, that's 4 million, and for 2021, that's 4.2 million. So i-recognize natin dito yung expense ng employer, no? Okay, so prepare journal entries to record the employee benefit expense for 2020 and 2021. So unahin muna natin yung 2020. So for 2020, meron tayong employee benefit expense. Okay, employee benefit expense. So this is the account title. Okay, so how do you compute for that? No? So kung magkano yung salary ng employees, no, for the year, no? Okay, so that is 4 million times yung 5%, no, nakalagay doon. So 5% of the annual employees. So magkano yun? So mag-compute nga tayo. So that would be 200,000. So lagay natin dito. So this is debit and this is credit. Ayan. So this would be 200,000. And of course, pera yung binayad. So credit cash. Okay, so cash for 200,000. Okay? Now, for 2021, so gagawa tayo niyan. Okay, so yung 2021, okay, the same entry. So, employee benefits expense. So, ganun pa rin yung recognition. So, this is Kaya lang, nagbago yung amount. So, from 4 million to 4,200,000. So, this is multiplied by 5%. So, magkano yung lalabas dyan? Okay, so that would be 210,000. Okay, this is debit 1 expense for 210,000 and credit cash. Credit cash for 210,000. Okay, so dumako naman tayo dito sa example number 2. So, makikita natin dito, no? So, on December 31, 2020, Sun Company paid 400,000 contribution to a defined contribution plan. So, nagbigay na siya ng 400,000 dun sa pondo, si Sun Company, yung employer. Of this amount, 350,000 is in part exchange for services performed by the employees for 2020. Nagawa na raw nila to, itong 350,000 worth of services noong 2020. And the balance of 50,000, yung 50,000 out of this 400,000 is in respect of services to be performed in 2021. So in other words, dito sa situation na to, meron silang in advance or prepayment, no? So magre-recognize din tayo dyan ng prepayment, which is an asset by the way. So i-recognize muna natin, so for prepare journal entries to recognize the contribution on December 31, 2020. So patulad rin nung kanina, kaya na ngayon meron tayong excess or advance payment, no? Yung meron yung yung employer doon sa pondo, meron sila excess payment. So the entry there is employee benefit expense. So this is debit and this is credit. Yan, so magkano yun? So that would be around well, kung magkano yung no? So 350,000, yun lang naman yung na-incur. Yun lang naman yung payable, no? Kaya natin in-expense na. Tapos meron tayong merong prepaid. Okay, so this is a prepaid benefit expense. Okay, so this is for 50,000. So yung total niyan, this one, and this one would be credited to cash kasi ito yung binayaran ng employer. So for 400,000. Yan. So meron siyang prepayment. Kung mapapansin natin, may prepayment kasi yung 50,000 worth of that services will still be rendered sa 2021 pa. So that's why meron silang prepayment. And then of course, yung 350,000 pertains to the 2020 services that was provided. For our third and final example, for dito sa defined contribution plan, so tignan natin yung example. So Reese Company reported the following information with respect to a defined benefit plan. So noong 2020, ito 2020 at 2021, so meron siyang employee benefit expense na 850, tapos may contribution yung employer na 700. So mapapansin natin dito, meron pa siyang liability na 150 kasi mas malaki yung expense kaysa dun sa na-contribute niya. Pero dito naman sa 2021, mas malaki naman yung contribution niya kaysa dun sa expense of 1 million. So, pwedeng i-offset yon dun sa the following year, yung lacking na contribution for that year. So, required is prepare journal entries in 2020 and 2021. And number 2 is determine the amount of any prepaid or accrued benefit cost to be reported in the statement of financial position for each year. So, gawin muna natin tong requirement number 1. So, let's prepare journal entries for 2020 muna. Okay, so, meron ditong so gagawa tayo ng employee benefit expense. Okay, employee benefit expense. This is for magkano? So, ito, 850. So, dito yung debit. And this is credit. Okay, so this would be 850,000. And then merong contribution, so cash. Of course, naglabas ka ng cash, yung employer, no? So this would be 700,000. Now, yung balancing figure here would be under the account of prepaid slash accrued. Accrued if it's a liability, accrued benefit cost. Okay, so yan, hindi na kasya, so medyo ano natin. Accrued benefit cost. Yan. Okay, so magkano siya? So obviously nandito siya sa credit, so it's 150. Okay, tapos ito naman cash. Okay, cash for this one is for 700,000. So 700,000 plus 150 equals 850 yung total expense. Now, doon naman sa dito naman sa 2021. Okay, so 2021. I hope you can see it, no? Okay, so meron tayong again employee benefit cost, no? Okay, so ito yung first step, no? Employee benefit cost. Recognize natin yung expense or employee benefit expense, I should say. So magkano yun? So nakalagay dito, yun. So 1 million. So lagay mo lang 1 million. So 2021. Yan. Now, tuwa natin ang konti. Yan. Okay. And then merong i-credit mo yung account na prepaid. Okay, prepaid slash accrued. Okay, benefit cost. Okay, so now, kung papansin natin, mas malaki yung kinontribute ng employer. So dito siya sa dito siya sa magiging magiging asset siya. Okay, so yan. So lalagay muna natin dito cash. So yung cash, magkano yung binigay niya? This is 1,050,000. Ayan. Okay, so yan. Kita ba? Yan. So merong balancing figure dito. Yung balancing figure niya would be prepaid. Yan. So nilagay natin dito. Okay, so sabihin, this is an asset, no? Okay, so dito na lang nilagay sa under this title, prepaid accrued benefit cost. Okay, yun, pareho rin yun. Okay, so this would be 50,000. So kung i-plus natin to 1 million plus 50,000, so equals the contribution of 1,050,000. So we'll go dun sa financial statement presentation. So para naman dun sa financial statement presentation, so ilalagay natin siya under non-current liability para sa December 31, as of December 31, 2020, which is accrued benefit cost. Okay, accrued benefit cost. Under accrued benefit cost for 150,000 pesos, yung kaninang yung balancing figure. And then para naman the following year, yung na under rin also sa non-current liability on December 31, 2021. So yung account na accrued benefit cost. So naging 100 na lang siya kasi yung 50,000 overpayment para dun sa 2021 in-offset dun sa outstanding balance na 150,000 na non-current liability nung previous year. So if you have any questions or any comments, just write down your comments. Of course, subscribe and share and like. Of course, I want to shout out also dun sa isa sa mga subscriber natin, si Emeline Ordeneza. Okay? So God bless, stay safe, and keep your hands clean.